So for my project, I did boba tea. This is a drink that I've drinking many times. I'd never made it though, and my sister had. So she decided to show me. So I started by getting out a saucepan or sauce pot, basically anything you can boil water in. Simple as that. So here you see me getting about 4 cups of water. Now I pointed out, however, right after this, I ended up getting 1 more cup just to be safe. We were following the recipe on the bag, and it just said to make sure there's 5 cups, but make sure they have like a decent amount of water in the pot. It doesn't really have to be exact. So I then turned it on to medium heat, and here is the bag of tapioca pearls, which is the gummy. I decided to pour it out, and my sister was not happy about it, so here's a clip of her yelling at me.
You see, this is why we can't have nice things.
She's not happy with my fancy pouring. And you're basically just going to take this and pour it right into the pot. I put a lid on, but you don't have to if you want to make sure that everything's going okay. I tried to actually taste it here, but Miranda quickly stopped me and told me it was not going to taste good yet. Here's what they look like, and you turn off the heat, and basically here's what you should be looking for. I know it's a little smoky, but they will have grown a bit, and they should be at a chewy texture. So next, I strained it into this giant yellow strainer. My sister was kind of worried that I was going to burn myself or ruin it, but I did not, actually. And then I poured the strainer into a measuring cup just to make it easier to do the next part. And you kind of need to because you want to keep the liquid there, any liquid left. So my sister got 2 tablespoons of brown sugar and she put it in, and then as you can see in a moment, I got to stir it. I tried to actually break up a couple clumps, but you actually don't need to do this. The brown sugar will melt, and this is why you need to use a thing with a solid bottom, because you're kind of just making sure that it gets all the flavor. Here's a little sped up. So I actually drink bubble tea a lot, and I have a plastic cup obsession because I just reuse them. So I have 3 cups of, basically they're made for boba tea. And I'm going to make 3 drinks because my parents wanted some, or one of my parents wanted some and Miranda did. Here is the drink mix. So basically I picked mango, and then I got milk out, and here. And so I started with a tablespoon. I actually put 2 tablespoons in. This can be actually changed to your preference. So if you want a stronger flavor, then you will add more to milk. Basically, it will flavor the milk to whatever flavor. This is mango, and the yellow bag is for my parents, and that is coconut. So I put in these 2 tablespoons and then went to put in, I think it was a cup of milk, which is what the bag said, and we quickly realized that wasn't going to be enough and that we should just do it by, not by eye, but by taste. So as you can see, I poured in the milk here, and then I ended up just pouring more in and going to taste it immediately, actually. I just went to straight up down it, and my sister quickly told me, no, you have to stir it first, which should be obvious, but... And I then quickly went to get a spoon and mixed it. The milk will turn a light orange shade for this color because it's mango, and the powder is actually orange. And so once I stirred it, my sister decided to take over, and apparently my stirring was not to her standards. But I tried it, and I ended up deciding that it needed a little more. And so basically I took out that same tablespoon measurement, and I got another scoop and poured it into the cup. I kind of look like that meme from a while ago where they pour salt, basically. But I stirred it again, and that was basically done for the moment, and I put it on top of my oven. It's like a mini oven. So then we started with the disaster drinks, basically. These were the coconut ones, and I don't like coconut, so I chose mango, but my parents and Miranda did. So I started pouring the milk while my sister dumped the powder in, and it's great unison, I guess. the problem started when we started to actually stir it. I got out a spoon, as you can see here, and immediately we realized that the powder wasn't really mixing in with the milk. So in a second, you will probably see I speed this up to show that it took us a while. I started stirring here, Miranda was pouring the second one, and obviously it just was not mixing in.
Just be careful, this stuff is harder to actually. Oh, I've made this before.
So obviously Miranda's expertise was not right, and even though she had made it before, it was still not mixing. You can see it clung to my spoon, it was clinging to the sides, and was just making kind of a layer of powder on the top. However, even though I then realized that, in fact, it was exactly not going to work, we then decided to skip ahead and put the boba into one of the clean cups that we had, and went back to my drink and added the boba into that, because we had decided to instead put the milk into the microwave, hoping that it would heat it up and then the powder would work better. And here that is. Here's the aftermath of putting it in the microwave. As you see, the powder just melted in. It was just a slight hiccup, and the actual drink was perfectly fine. So we also realized that we need to add more boba. Once you realize exactly how many you want, you can evenly divide it or add more as you go, which is what we did. We added it to that drink that we just took out of the microwave. Here's Miranda just giving up and pouring it in. So this is a straw, and basically that is it.